And today we are going to learn some tips and tricks for using Canva. Now, I have the free version of Canva. So if you have the paid version, you are going to be just leaps and bounds ahead of the rest of us with what is available to you. But for those of you who are frugal, then this is especially for you. So one of my favorite things about Canva is that you can create a design, but you are not limited to the sizes that they have pre-created. I use custom size all the time, especially when I'm just making 8.5 by 11 flyers, or if I'm doing big flyers, 11 by 17, because then I can just put in my height in my inches. Now, because I am doing this for print and not using pixels, I have to use inches. So like 11 by 17. And it comes right out. Another thing that I really like about Canva is that I did not ever take a graphic design course, ever. And I am completely self-taught. A lot of what I learned has come from looking at the templates that Canva provides. Now, when you do a non-custom size, they give you a lot more options when you do like an Instagram post size or a Facebook post size or what brochure or whatever. But I have learned just so much about spacing and white space and all those sorts of things. So let's look at some of those. So if we were just going to do a regular Facebook post, it pre-creates the size that's ideal for Facebook. And I can look here and I can see all of these different templates. It thinks that this is what I want. I might use it, I might not. Or if you are doing something for Valentine's Day, it has these. If you have news to share, or if you have a sale going on, it's fabulous. And even if it says like not free, you can still sometimes use it and just like take out what you have to pay for. So like if I wanted this one and I couldn't use this picture of the house, I could always just like, use my own picture. And then you don't have to worry about paying for it. Another thing that I really love about Canva is the search bar function. This is something that is newer and that Canva has only just started to provide. And since I've been at the library for over 4 years now, I have a lot of different Canva designs to choose from or to look back at. And I oftentimes will do a lot of like repeat from the previous year. So for example, I always do a Black History Month Facebook post for books in the library. So I can search your projects and it'll give you some like autofill ones. But if I just hit enter, then it'll pull up everything that I've ever named with Black history in it or whatever my search term is. So I can look at these and be like, oh yeah, okay, this is what I did a couple years ago. And I can just pull it up and edit it directly in it and keep going. I like having a copy of everything that I do because I don't like to repeat books a whole lot every year. So I can always click this and choose make a copy. And then all I have to do, I don't have to like recreate this from scratch every year. I can just go in and change my books and my titles and my authors. So that's one of my very favorite things that is newer about Canva. Now, sometimes I will need to recreate something that I've already made in Canva, but I want it in a different size. For example, we print out a lot of tax forms for people, and I have a post that I know I have made about printing tax forms, but my supervisor recently said, we want a printout of tax form promo. And I said, okay, what size do you want? And she said, we want it 11 by 8.5 horizontal. And I said, okay. So now I've got to go and find it. I know I put it in a Facebook post and I think I have one from last year. So spring 2021. Let's look at that. Haha, okay. So I have my tax form and I need to put it in an 11 by 8.5 horizontal. So width is 11 by 8.5. So here's the size that I need. And this is what I'm moving. So another one of my very favorite tricks in Canva is where I just select as much as I can and I do Control-C for copy. And then I click in my new box that I'm moving it to and do Control-V for paste. And I've pretty much got it. It doesn't take your background for whatever reason. So I'll have to go back over here and move that separately. But it's so much easier than having to be like, oh, wait, how did I do this last time? Now all I have to do is adjust it, make it fit in this size. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Ta-da, now I'm ready to print and post it in the library where my supervisor wants it. If you've been using Canva for a while, you may have noticed that they do not have as many free graphics available as they used to, which is a bummer. So let's say I want to add a flower. I can choose from photos or I can choose from graphics, and all these little crown symbols means that you have to have Canva Pro. And I already said we don't pay for Canva Pro. So they give me like, oh geez, like 5 options. Here's another one. Yeah, not many options here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to outside sources and download them. Now, you actually cannot just grab any graphic or picture that you want from the internet and use it because of copyright laws, especially if you're using your flyer or your post or whatever to sell something. So there are websites out there that provide opportunities for artists to connect with people who are making flyers and posts. So my favorite for pictures is Unsplash. Just type in here and you get really great pictures. Sometimes they give you like tags so you can search more specifically if you're like, oh yes, I really like that one. But I'm gonna go with this daisy one. So if I click on it and I download for free, and it just gets saved to my computer. And then I can go into Canva and click uploads and upload my media, save to downloads. And now I have my flower all ready to go. Now, if I just wanted the flower without the background, I could use Photoshop to edit it out. However, again, we don't pay for Photoshop and Adobe. Photopea, however you want to say it, is like a free version, a web-based version of Photoshop. So I can go to photopea.com and open my document. And you always want to have a clear layer on the bottom. And I can just use my magnetic tool, my magnetic lasso, and draw around it to get rid of my background. Depending on how much time you have, this can take forever. As you can see, it's not a super fast process, but sometimes it's worth it to have really great eye-catching flyers or posts. And then I just hit my delete button and voila, and eventually you go all the way around and you'll be good to go. You can do file, export as PNG or JPEG, and then you'll be able to upload it into Canva and put your flower wherever you like it. And that is Photopea and Unsplash. Now, if you're looking for a graphic that is not a picture, so something that's more drawn, you can go to Vecteezy. There are a couple of these, but Vecteezy is my favorite. So again, I'm going to search for flower, and I'm going to use my filters here on the left. I want to do editor compatible so I can edit it straight in Vecteezy without having to go to Photopea. And I want my free license because again, we don't pay for things. I'm going to say I like this pink one, but I do not have any pink on this flyer. So I do not want them to be pink. I would like them to be this blue color, this like turquoisey color. So I'm going to click on my box to change my color. And if I click on the plus sign, it'll give me the hex number down here. This is the exact color number. And if I copy that and go back to Vecteezy, I can get rid of my background by clicking on it. And then if I click on these, I can change my colors and I can change my color. Again, this can take a while depending on how intricate your picture is, but like if it's, a construction worker wearing a hard hat that's yellow and you want your hard hat to be red, that's probably not going to take you very long. And I can just change it from there.
Now, because it has the different shades of pink, and if I wanted them to change to a more complementary shade or color for this teal, I could use a color palette generator.
So color palette generator. So let's say I don't want them to all be pink, but I want something that looks good with that blue color. I can change it here, click enter. And then if I click my little lock symbol and my spacebar to change it, this one will stay the same. I like that one. So then I can just click here, copy, paste. There we go. And now I have it as a different color for my color palette generator. So let's say I have a image or a picture that I want to match a color with, but I don't have a way. It's from some branding or some picture that you took of an event and you want to match the color of someone's shirt or something. Then I can go and do that. So let's say I want to match the color of this diver dude's yellow, but that is an outside image. So I'm going to go to color picker online. You can use your own image. You just pull it up from wherever you have it saved. And you position your clicker on it and click on it. And then there's your hex color. I can change my colors. Now, my final tip for you is actually not have anything to do with Canva per se in actually creating your items. But I really suggest that you follow on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you social media, follow other businesses or accounts that do the quality and level of graphic design that you are aiming for, and aim high. I mean, I like going and looking at Awesome Public Library stuff all the time. I'm like, man, I really like this thing that Awesome Public did. How can I learn and copy what they have done that fits for us and for our user base? So it's totally okay to spend time at work scrolling through social media in a responsible manner that's not distracting you from your other customer responsibilities. But learn from other people, pay attention when you go out. If you go to a new town, look at all their signage that they have around, or a new store or a new restaurant. What are they posting that you're like, oh man, I can do better than that? Or, oh man, that's a great idea. I should do that. Snap a picture with your phone so you don't forget. It's totally fine. Somebody will be flattered. Just don't tell them that their signage is terrible because that's not very nice. So graphic design for the uninitiated is totally doable. You might be terrible at first, but you're going to get better. And best of luck to everybody who is creating something to promote whatever you are promoting.